Good morning, guys. 4 a.m. I'm probably gonna go and grab some additional sleep and update you guys then. Good morning, guys. So it is 9 a.m., which means I slept for an additional 5 hours, which means we have identified a flaw in my routine, which is that whatever I did last week, it led to 5 hours of sleep deprivation building up. And that would make sense when it came to like an overall groggy feeling that I kind of felt like my brain wasn't clicking as sharply as it is now, for example. So that's something interesting to keep in mind. And I mean, usually weekends are always you're gonna have to catch up on sleep debt, just because a perfect 8 hours during a week of intensive work isn't very realistic. However, just the learning, because 5 hours is quite a bit, maybe like 2 or 3, maybe 4, but 5 is like, oh, okay, you were really screwing up your sleep, which makes sense. I went to bed based on my tracker at 9 p.m. 3 times. So yeah, the sleep debt actually does make a lot of sense. So I want to cut that out for next week. And again, guys, my goal is just to sit down and do more takes of the recording today. So I have pretty much close to no client work to do. I just have one video that I'm going to make. So I know I said no more client work first thing, but because I woke up later, I can't really push it off because then I'll miss posting time. So I'm gonna finish that because I'm already kind of started working on it. And then after that, I will get the video live and good to go. And then from that point, I will, get ready to record after doing any little more minor stuff. So just like usual, whether it's 9 a.m. or 4 a.m., I'm gonna take you guys through what I do in order to get ready for the day. Tell I had a good night's sleep if you look at the bed here. Okay, you can see here, the bed is now made. All right, guys, I changed into a hoodie like normal, and dude, my hair, I've never had long hair before, but if this is every day managing it, I might not ever have long hair again. Anyways, I'm gonna do the meditation as usual. Hi gents, I have the earplugs in. I'm gonna kick on the computer now and put my hat on. And as I showed you guys yesterday, it's pretty cool, but just didn't do it anymore. But my teleprompter will like flash on. Yeah, okay, cool. You guys saw it there. It's pretty cool. I haven't figured out how to use it as like an external monitor for calls or anything yet, but it's whatever. So, now that I got this all open, let me go here. Warning. I don't know. Anyways, let me click cancel twice, whatever. It's trying to take over my computer, whatever. Okay, cool. So, what I'm gonna do now is put trusty old hat on, and we're going to get to making some videos and doing that process. So, to start the day, as you guys know, first things first is I gotta save this podcast with Linus Tech Tips to watch for later. YouTube go. We hit 4,700 subs on YouTube. I just saw it here as I went through and clicked to change my account. Okay, cool, it's already saved. Banger. All right, well, being back to single monitor, I honestly like it a lot more. I always get like FOMO when I see people with double monitor, especially because I can just set it up. But single monitor is superior when it comes to focus and yeah, just getting stuff done. So what I'm gonna do now is fill out all my data as usual, get everything time blocked, and then let me think, was there anything in particular else that I want to do? I want to buy a Herman Miller this weekend as a new chair. That's going to make working so much better because as you guys see, and as I do the time lapses, I notice I'm either like this working, or I'm like this, or I'm like this. So the Herman Miller will do a lot to kind of fix my back because yeah, the way that this chair does it is not very comfortable for me. But yeah, I feel a lot better, a lot more spacious with a single monitor. So I'm going to drink up, stim up, tracker up, and then just as an update, again, I'm all about transparency. I had a client leave yesterday, so I have to do the offboarding for them, which I'm going to do this morning. And then I had before that, no, and when I say client leave is like they didn't want to continue on any further, so just like a typical churn. And then I have to get this other guy's video live, so yeah, I'm gonna take care of that, and then I will keep you guys updated. But time lapses will work. All right, so as I was talking about with you guys, I was going to be offboarding the client today, and I'm just finalizing that right now. And I just want to give my honest opinion because I was, during this time, able to get a few pop-off videos with them, but I really was not able to consistently manage that and consistently get them to go and do really great things with their channels. And yeah, I just want to learn from it and figure out how to execute better. My biggest thing that I'm really thinking it might come down to is just posting less frequently for clients, but then right out of the gate, going all out on the videos. Because a mistake that I've made is trying to post too frequently with clients, and then as a result, the quality isn't there, which makes them perceive what I do as lower value, versus if we're only posting once, maybe twice a week, I can consistently pour into each video and have it get that potential to pop off. So that's probably my biggest lesson from this. And yeah, just make sure to learn from each of these experiences and get better and better each time. So I'm gonna finish this, and yeah, that is the verdict. I have to get my 2-factor verification, so I'm gonna end this. Okay, so what you guys are watching right now is the practice run so I can get the script pretty much perfect. So yeah, just got my juice here. This is really good. And I'm just practicing the script to get some perfect takes in. So also learning how this Elgato prompter software works. This is Rob the Bank's $100 million empire that he's built over the last 13 years. But before he was featured in Forbes, he was just a college basketball player with $5,000 in a dream. Now, I've spent over 100 hours watching all of his videos, podcasts, and researching his brands to find out exactly how he's managed to become the internet's rich uncle. Section 1, Hoop Dreams. But before we cover that, we have to take it all the way back to the two... This is what the process for revising and getting the script perfect looks like, and it's just like... you know? Alright boys, so I have just went ahead and bought a second camera. I know this is sudden, but I say put my money where my mouth is when it comes to the reinvesting. The second angle on my videos kind of looks like absolute dog water, so let me show you guys. I'll pull it up right now. Just so you can see, it's probably been my biggest hate point on my own videos. My biggest critique is I have the main angle and the second angle just kind of looks not good at all. So it's minor, but it will allow to just give that little extra nudge in quality that, you know, it is inevitable when you want to grow and reach the next level of whatever your craft is. So this is what the second angle looks like, and if you compare that to what the main angle looks like, I'm trying to find a clip of it. Bear with me here, guys. Bear with me. Okay, so this is what the main angle looks like, which is a lot better than the other one. So I went ahead and bought the same camera to do the main. Now the only thing that's crappy about this is that now my overhead camera is just gonna be this phone that I talk to you guys on. And it does shoot 4K, which is good, but the issue is that it doesn't have a lens on it, so it doesn't have the depth that you'd get shooting on a camera. So I don't want to buy 3 cameras because I think that's overkill. I'm not at that stage just yet. But what now means is that my video process requires little to no transfer. Like before, in order to transfer stuff over, I'd have to download a bunch of files from these phones and then like boop, boop, plug it in, I'd have to like wait for it to install. Takes forever on Google Drive, there's a quality drop off. But now I have both of these 2 angles directly in camera on an SD card. I just take them out, camera, boom, plug them in here, boom, slot them in, transfer over, and we are good to go on the recording end. What it also means is I don't need anybody else's freaking phone or camera to borrow to record as of now going forward, which makes my life a million times easier because I can record whenever I want. I don't have to ask anybody, I don't need to plan anything. I could just boom, get in the studio and start cranking out videos. So I'm super excited about that big operational workflow change. Now, it makes me wonder whether I should buy the Herman Miller. Maybe we'll get a little bit opulent and purchase the Herman Miller this weekend as well. But this was probably around, let me calculate, probably around 1,000 Canadian or like 800 US, which the currency switches at 1.4 now, which is crazy, by the way. Canadian dollars are gonna be worth like rupees at the current trajectory we're on. But yeah, always practice what I preach when it comes to reinvesting. And again, stuff like this, it's a hard reinvestment. So my camera, I purchased it once and it continues to pay me dividends, just like this light or my other camera or my monitor or my setup or anything like that, versus more speculative investments. Like you buy a program that you buy 1 month of consulting, right? And now you have to hope that in that month you get the value to warrant the price you paid, versus when you just buy a actual entity, you know that it's going to continue to leverage dividends for you. So I'm always okay with purchases like these because I know the tech upgrades are inevitable. And as long as because I could have easily bought like a crappy digital camera and it would have been meh, but I bought the same camera that I have right now, just not the Mark II version, which the only difference is really that the camera is not adjustable because A, it's less money to get the original version for the lack of tech, but then B, it also ships way faster on Amazon. So I can record my next video soon and just have it all set up and don't have to worry about like shipping times and all that crap. So got that done. SD cards are really freaking expensive. I didn't realize that. So I got another SD card. And now I'm going to have close to a almost fully hardware content setup. Like I said, the last thing was going to be to buy a third for the overhead camera there to shoot down. But now I have two actual proper cameras that I'm going to be filming the video on. So it's going to be high quality. My second angle is not going to look like an absolute joke anymore. And I'm very, very excited with this purchase. Definitely a better purchase than the Herman Miller when it comes to the ROI. I think it delivers because the Herman Miller doesn't make my videos quality better. It's more of a passive buff, one might say. It's like a passive skill work focus buff, but this is like a tangible buff to the actual end result in video quality. So that is great to see, and I'm happy that I get to spend my money in this way because I can directly see it building towards what I want and not just stuff that I don't need. Like even a car I don't need, right? But a car is again like a passive buff if you need to do anything, but this is like a permanent stat buff that you get to the end product, which for me all I care about is the videos. I don't care if I have to go record upside down in Narnia. If it makes my videos better, I'll do it. So that is overall read. I'm still working on the client videos, but now the difficulty that I've had recording this video, aligning with when I can borrow my mom's phone to record the second angle, all that stuff, I'm now happy that I know this problem is temporary. As of Tuesday of next week, it will be solved and I will never have to deal with it again. So this will be the last video, A, that's shot on phone quality for second camera, which is huge, but then B, where I'll also have to wait for anybody, so the studio remains getting better and better and better. So very happy about that decision, and all in some time's work. You guys have seen in this series, this thing get built, the whole studio get upgraded with lights, the teleprompter come, I have a second light back there hidden behind the whiteboard you guys maybe saw. We're really upgrading this to build, again, the media company like I spoke about today, because that is the vision, that's what we're doing here. So get back to work, peace out guys, but like I said, always reinvest into your work. If you could reinvest every single dollar and spend like an absolute idiot, if you're gonna do that, do it on your work, because at the end of the day, that's what's gonna leverage the dividends. And if you look at Mr. Beast, the guy reinvests every single dollar he makes back into getting his videos, and because his flywheel has grown so massively, he's the biggest creator on the platform. So I want to do the same thing, and that first comes to investing in the infrastructure. If you can set up the infrastructure, everything else will follow. So what I mean by that, and this is actually a great last point to cover, sorry, I don't want to rant too long, but you have investments into what fills in the infrastructure, the operational end of it. So for me, that would be hiring an editor. I hire an editor and now I'm paying a flat percentage per video edited. Okay, man, it's the same thing as the mentorship argument. What you want to focus on foundationally first is the infrastructure by which all those things operate. So my computer, if I didn't have that, well, what's going to happen? It's the part of the infrastructure. Same thing that my recording studio is part of the infrastructure, because once it's built, it stays there and it continues paying out dividends. And if you can build a world-class infrastructure, you can get away with lower quality of the recurring payments. But that's the issue, is most people, because the infrastructure is usually more expensive, right? This camera, I could have easily paid an editor to edit a crazy video, like whatever for this. But that would have only been one video, or that might only have been 1 month's worth of videos. And typically what people do is they try and invest too much in like, oh, the mentorship, the knowledge, the recurring payments, right? If you want to pay a mentor one time, they'll talk to you for life, that's great. But if you can focus on that infrastructure element, you then build the infrastructure by which everything else fills in. And too many people do all these investments into these things where, oh, I tried highly edited videos, it didn't work, or I tried building a studio and it didn't work. Well, yeah, because you never invested in the infrastructure first. So by doubling down and building out the infrastructure that you need, I have rejigged this completely normal, what would be my bedroom, and I've turned it into this complete recording studio that you guys are going to see continue growing, but is building the YouTube empire and the media company that I am, creating here. So that is all. Gonna get back to work, and hope you guys appreciate the investment into making the content better, the quality, and the media empire, and me also practicing what I preach. So yeah, peace. Okay, so as you guys can see, I am cutting up faces of people and everything I need for the raw board. These two are actually meant to go behind me over there. I just needed proper printouts of them. But this process, man, holy. I don't know, you can't really see it, but my hand is going red from all the scissors, because these are crappy freaking scissors. So figuring it out, cutting it all up. I am burning right now, and I don't want to turn the fan up too high, or else all this paper is going to start flying everywhere. So again, this is kind of just part of it. I'm gonna grind it through, and you guys are going to see that.